2/3 times 2. We have 2 2/3. Here is 1, 2 out of 3, 2/3. So now if we look at this, we can just take this one right here. There's 1, and I can fill this in. So I'm going to look at, here's my, oh, going outside the lines. Okay, so there's 1. Now I have another one, 2/3. There's my second one. So that makes 1 2/3. But then I have another one down here. Let's take this one. This is my third one, and I'm going to put it in here. Now we should know that if we have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 3/3, or anything over itself is going to be 1. So I've got 1 whole here, but then I've got 1 left over. There's my 1 left over. I'm going to fill this in. And so now that is 1 out of 3. So that's 1 out of 3. So now I can count them up. 1 and 1/3. That's pretty easy, isn't it? But if I look at this now, let's do it this way. And I say, all right, let's go 2/3 times 2. Well, anything over 1 is itself, right? So I can do this. I can go 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 1 is 3. Now look over here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those out of 3s, okay, out of the thirds. Okay, so there's 3 there, 3 there, 4/3. So I can take it one more step. I say 3 into 4 is 1 time. Here's my 1. And then I have 1 left over out of 3, right? So there's 3 right there. If I went 3 into 4, that's 3, right? Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. And then I have 1 left over because 4 minus 3 is 1. And then out of that 3, I've got those 2 empty ones. So I've got 1 and 1/3. 3/4 times 3. So we have 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. There's 3 of those, right? Okay, so we have 3 of these. There's our 3. And what we're going to do is just look over here and see how many of these fill up. When we multiply 3 times 3/4, what we're looking at is we're going to have 1/4, and then I can go to here. Here's my 2/4 or 1/2, and here's my 3/4. So there, I've taken care of this one. There's 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Now I'm going to do this next one. There's 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm going to go 1. There's that one taken care of. My second one, 2. There's that one taken care of. And 3. So I'm up to 1 whole and a half. Okay, so those are all taken care of. Now I have this one. Let's take care of that one. There's 1/4 taken care of. I got this one. There's my second one. Let's take care of that one. And the last one right there, third one. Let's take care of one more. So now if I count these, there's 1 whole, or I can say basically there's 4/4, but we simplify that and say 1. And here's another 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And then I have 1/4 left over. So the answer is 2 and 1/4. So now I can prove this sequentially also. I could just say, I could take my 3/4, let's draw a line right here, times 3. And 3 over 1 we know is still 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 1 is 4. If we simplify that, we know 4 goes into 9 2 times, right? It goes in 2 times. And then I have, because 2 times 4 is 8, that means I have 1 left over. Here's my 1 right there. And then it's out of 4. So we have 2 and 1/4. Seems pretty easy when you look at it this way. 3/5 times 4. If we look at 3/5 times 4, you can see 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 5. So 3 out of 5 is 3/5. Okay, times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got 4 of these right there. That's my multiplication. So now, looking over here, we can just quickly go 1, 2, 3. I've got 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and I'm going to color these in. So I got 1, 2, 3. You can do a better job than I do coloring in here. And then we got another one. There's a 1/5 here, so let's color another one in. There's 1/5. And here's another 5th. There's our second one on this one. Okay, so now we've got a hole there, but now we've got one left on this one, so there's our third 5th on that one. So let's color this in. And then I've got one here. Fill that one in. There's another one. 2. Probably going too slow for you, but it takes me a while using this. 3. Let's go to the next one. 1/5. There's another hole that we've got. We've got 2 left. 2. And 1 left. So you can say there's 3/5, 3/5, 3/5, 3/5. And we just took all those pieces and we put them in here. So now we have 5/5, right? 5/5. But we all know that that is equal to 1 whole. 5/5 again, that's another whole. So we've got 2 wholes. Let's put 2 right here. Okay. Now we have 1, 2, right? 2 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our answer, 2 and 2/5. Now we can look at this another way and we can go 3/5 times 4 over 1. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5. Now we can cheat and we can look up here and we go, hey, we know we have 2 holes up here. Or I can just look at here and say, hey, how many times is 5 go into 12? I know it goes into 2 times because 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, so now I have 2 left over after 12 minus 10. So do I have to write that? So 12 minus 10 equals 2, right? Okay, so then I'm going to say I've got 2 left over out of 5. So look at that. There's those 2 right there. Bingo. There's those 2. So when you look at it this way, it's fairly simple and it makes a lot of sense. One-eighth times 4. So let's look at this. Here's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 1 out of 8, 1/8. And then we look at 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're taking this and multiplying this times 4. So let's just take a look here. We got 4 of those. Come over here and let's just quickly fill in the spaces here. So we've got 1 here. Let's go 1. We've got 1 here. 1. 1/8 here. And we have 1/8 here. So now if we look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 out of 8. But if we look at that, that looks pretty close to a half, doesn't it? Or is that exact? Okay, so we've got 4. A really simple way to look at that, we could just say, hey, that is 2. There's 2/4, right? 2/4, or we can say 1/2. Let me just do that. 2/4, or we have 1/2. So if I were just to take out all these lines and everything, I could just go 1/2. Just like that. Or we can do it the other way and we can say 1/8 times 4 over 1. 4 comes out to be the same thing, right? 1 times 4 is 4. 8 times 1 is 8. And then we can simplify, and we can simplify without going through this step because we know that how many of these, we know that 1 times 2 is 8, so we have 1/2. And there it is, 1/2.